Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at July 2023 individual forecast for each life path number. Before we get into that, though, I do want to announce that I have a new service available on my website. It's called the Diamond Forecast. And just to kind of give you a quick overview of what this is, I'm actually very excited to be able to offer this. The diamond is considered to be one of the most powerful and beneficial tools in numerology, and it's the absolute perfect companion to the year ahead forecast, which I know many of you are very familiar with. So the diamond forecast takes a deep dive into the very specific numerology transits that you're meant to be moving through at any given age. So unless instructed otherwise at the time of booking, then I would be looking specifically at your current age through the course of a year, birthday to birthday. Now, this report breaks down basically your cosmic challenge or divine quest, guiding you on your higher spiritual path throughout that year. So we'll look at, again, the cosmic challenge, the root or the predominant catalyst that will likely create a particular chain of events or create some kind of cause and effect within that year. We also look at the action key, which is how you're meant to respond to and work with that energy for the best results. And then finally, we would look at the higher and the lower vibrational potential outcome or probable results of that year-long quest. Okay, so just to kind of give you an idea, I ran my own report for my current age, and as usual, it is fascinating how incredibly accurate and on point it has been so far. So you can find an example of that report, page for page, on my website under the Diamond Forecast. And you can purchase it there if you choose to. Again, I highly recommend this report. And I also, of course, recommend the personal year ahead forecast and getting them together for the most in-depth insight. You can also purchase both if that's something you want to do at a discounted rate. And again, you can find that on my website. The link is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at each individual life path for July 2023. Life path number 2. So I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all for July, and you got kiwi energy. And this actually matches the energy that you're working with for July so beautifully. But with kiwi, there's almost this sort of mystical or magical energy that surfaces. I believe that kiwis are flightless birds. They kind of look like the fruit kiwi, like they're just sort of round and rotund a little bit, but they're tiny and they have these like prehistoric dinosaur feet and these long beaks. They're just very unexpected, right? So there's definitely like this magical or sort of mystical energy that surfaces around the kiwi. So for you all, this could be a month where this is an opportunity to gain greater awareness when it comes to your own inner workings, your own deeper mind, your deeper consciousness, the unseen, right? Psychic attunement, very much so, and the unexpected. So I would say for this month, sort of expect the unexpected when it comes to the more mysterious realms, right? The more ethereal, the more psychic realms, the more intuitive side of yourself, as well as the deeper psyche, right? And so the reason why I say that this works so beautifully with the energies that you're working with for July is because July for you all brings in the energy of the 7. So the 7 is the most psychic energy in numerology, or is considered to be. So it brings about, typically in a cycle, it will bring about greater self-awareness or opportunities for awakenings when it comes to the more spiritual side of things or the unexplained, right? So it's not unlikely to have sort of psychic downloads or very vivid dreams or very profound dreams during a 7 cycle. It's also not uncommon to unlock a spiritual gift, right? Like a more something in the metaphysical realm, right? So be open to that. That's very possible. It's also very possible during a 7 cycle to get those bigger answers to your bigger questions, but they can be sort of unexpected, right? Or they can be sort of different than what you expect. So just be open. This is a month for deep exploration, reflection, sort of investigating further. This would be a great month for starting some kind of coursework, or reading a book that really intrigues you, or reading up on a topic that really intrigues you, that maybe is outside the norm, that you wouldn't normally gravitate towards, but you might feel called to it this month. And I would say explore it. Make the time to be able to explore the things that come in for you, especially if they're outside of what you would normally gravitate towards, because a lot of times that's where we learn more about ourselves and our interests. So you may see some things come in for you this month where your curiosity is piqued, and I would say this is the perfect month to explore further. This is a great month for going to workshops or online courses, or again, reading a book, or going back to school, or really just investigating further into something. It doesn't mean that you have to do something with that information, or that, whatever you come up with, but it's about just expanding the mind and the spirit through that exploration. And a lot of times, like I said, there's a very deep spiritual component to 7 cycles where we end up learning more about ourselves than we would have if it weren't a 7 cycle. So sometimes it's things, again, very unexpected, and we don't always know what to do with it. And you might not need to know what to do with it right away, but just be open to it, right? So definitely opportunities for greater awareness around self. There could also be contracts that come into play this month. So pay attention to any long-term commitments, long-term contracts that you're agreeing to. Just make sure that there's no sort of nothing hidden, right? Because the 7 energy is also about what's hidden, the illusions, the hidden realm. And so when it comes to contracts, just make sure you're reading the fine print. And I would even say make sure if you're signing a contract during a 7 cycle, just make sure you get like a professional to look at make sure that it's good to go, right? And that you're not being taken advantage of in any way. What else do I want to say about the 7 energy this month for you all? I would say contracts. Also, health could come into play this month for you all. So like holistic health. So you might find some solutions to some health concerns that have cropped up for you. They may be different than what you had expected. So again, be open to it. But this energy will sort of ask you to look at your holistic health, body, mind, spirit, and see where the disconnect is, and what can you sort of do, where can you explore to learn something more about it, right? To get to the core of the issue, so to speak, and heal it from there outwards, right? Because 7 energy is all about getting to the root of something, to really digging deeper. So that could come in for you this month. If so, definitely explore it further and just see what comes in. But really, this month has the potential to be very magical, to be very spontaneous, to bring in very unexpected things. Some very natural, some maybe not so natural. And so just be open to whatever presents itself to you, and then it's up to you what you decide to do with it. All right, well, I hope it's a great month too. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.